the teacher of Kavi and Yuzu, who is also the owner of the herb store Datura. In the eyes of her neighbors, she is a kind and gentle woman, but both her students seem to respect and fear her greatly, with emphasis on fear. Some time ago, Leia noticed changes in her students from their male correspondence, so she moved to Wonhan City to get a close look at the Jianxi that influenced them.
See, we can't do this because it'll sound even worse on the recording than it already does in Discord.
No, I was singing synced with you, so we'll mostly sync in the recording sync.
Sure.
Okay, if you were the host, now would you say the thing?
Hello!
Hello, and welcome to Soulmates, where we talk about all our favorite little guys and all our favorite little games. I'm Ivy Fox. You can find us on our sister podcast, Together We'll Shine, an Utna rewatch podcast. I have to enunciate because I slurred it recently, and I was like, that is unlistenable. It's a Utna rewatch podcast. Available.
You know it from anime and manga. It's a Utna rewatch podcast.
Well, specifically the anime Utna, because the manga's pretty different from the anime. Anyway, and one of the ways you can follow this show is on our YouTube, where you can leave a little comment, chat with us and your fellow fans, and of course you can find us on any other podcast app of your choice, where you can just give us a little 5-star rating just to help us out. That's my new copy. I hope you like it.
Well, you still haven't written it down, so it's not the new copy.
Well, I'm working. Joining me, as always, is charming and hilarious Ash.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Ash. You can find me inside of, your children's candy buckets this Halloween. Be careful, because you might open up that Milky Way, and inside, that's not chocolate and marshmallow, I think.
Wait, is that what's
in a
Milky Way?
I don't know what's in a Milky Way.
Why'd you say Milky Way then?
I thought up that for once I thought of this bit earlier.
Woo!
And I'm performing it now.
But you didn't bother to think and figure out what's in a Milky Way.
Milky Way.
Okay.
It's not like I wrote it down. We don't have copy.
Fuck copy.
Fuck copy.
You're not allowed to laugh at that. We can't. Moving on.
Well, if no one knows, then it's okay. It's not chocolate and whatever is inside of the chocolate coating of a Milky Way. That's charming and hilarious Ash. I couldn't really finish it with gusto. Make sure to check your kids' candy buckets this Halloween. You never know what they're putting in there.
Halloween, which was 4 days ago. But is
Halloween
today
was
for
4
us.
days ago, but is today for us. I'm on Ko-Fi at ko-fi.com/asherlark. I run the show's Tumblr at soul-mates-podcast.tumblr.com. And furthermore, you can support the show at ko-fi.com/ivyfoxart. And then I don't say, is that everything? Because that's not part of the bit.
This time you remembered that it was everything. But
Yes,
you also remembered...
because I thought about this bit earlier.
Welcome to, it's Halloween. Is this a Halloween special? No, not really.
My roommate asked me if we were recording a Halloween special episode, and I said no. Ivy asked me, do you have plans on Halloween? And I was like, no. And she was like, great, because neither do I, and we're supposed to record a podcast that day. And I was like, oh, great. So all day when people have been asking, like, y'all have any Halloween plans? You know, in my classes, I've been like, well, I'm gonna sort of do my regular bi-weekly engagement that has nothing to do with Halloween. Basically just gonna go to work.
You know, this episode's like a little bit spooky. But it's just kind of like, it's not a special, it's just a normal episode. It's just a Halloween normal.
A Halloween normal.
It's just like a kind of spooky Halloween normal. You may be asking, Ivy, you love to do little bonus segments. Don't you have a Halloween bonus segment? Well, I do have an extra segment for us today, but it's not a bonus segment. It's just kind of a normal segment.
I see.
Just like an extra one. So
just like an extra one.
Yeah, so there's nothing special about this at all. But it is so it's our Halloween normal. This is my pre-prepared bit, is calling this our kind of spooky Halloween normal.
I think it's a spooky episode. I think this is a spooky... We discussed the spookiness of this character on the previous episode. If you didn't listen to the previous episode of Soulmates, I literally don't know what your deal is. It's possible that YouTube pushes this one out to people randomly again, like they did for the Washi Zoo Ewow episode, in which case, welcome?
Welcome.
I also don't remember what number we gave this character.
4.6.
4.6, thank
4.6
you.
spooky. She's a witch.
She's a witch.
This is the reveal of why that number is, because she's a witch. Although
she has an emote where she's brewing a cauldron.
Yeah, again, it's like kind of Halloween, kind of spooky. But it's just a normal episode.
It's just a normal episode. And it's a normal episode, and it's so normal that I'm stretching out our banter because we only have 2 images to go over.
Oh, no, we have more images because I have an extra normal segment. So actually, like, you don't have to worry about trying to stretch things out. I have more stuff for us to talk about. Normal stuff.
Normal stuff. Not bonus.
Not bonus. Just
normal.
Normal stuff.
Okay, great.
Not Halloween themed either. Just
normal. Normal themed.
She's a witch, although, like, I was reading through her voice lines, and she mostly just talks about her herb store.
Yeah, well,
she's just
kind
of
of context
chilling.
In which she's a witch. She's like an alchemist.
Yeah, I kind of like her, actually. She's got kind of nice vibes. She's just she's just like she's 35? She's just like a nice 35-year-old woman.
We talked about this when she released, because she released after we started doing Soulmates. Which this will keep happening more and more, is that they'll just release things after we started doing Soulmates, like almost a year ago, and then we will end up talking about them, because we have to talk about everything in Mahjong Soul, and then we'll have to do an episode on them later, and that is weird.
I think that this is normal, but okay, if you think it's weird, that's fine.
Whatever makes me happy.
Yeah, definitely.
But she's 35, and I was thinking about this when she released, because I was like, 35 is the age that is, like, the upper limit that they're putting for, like, this person is an older adult. But, like, the most that they can do in this direction is 35. But,
Hang on, you can actually sort by age. Let me go see if that's the oldest. I'm pretty sure 30. I think there's a few 35s. And that's the oldest for women, at least.
Yeah. I think, isn't Joseph also 35?
Joseph is 35.
Yeah.
Correct.
So this is like the upper bounds on age. And like, Joseph is 35, and he's like, you know, a sort of successful career man, in his prime of life.
Sorry.
Yes?
The only other woman who is not in her 20s, there's some older 20s. Nadeshiko is 28, Ayane is 29. But the only other woman who's not in her 20s is Sawako, the MILF, who's 32.
Yeah. Only 32.
This is a reasonable mom age.
It is. But what they want to do with Leia is they want her to be like, you know, an older teacher figure. And this is like, I'm just saying you could have gone older than 35. Like, my experiences are very colored by being a fan of Limbus Company, and my favorite woman in Limbus Company is in her 50s. And that is Otis.
You can be older than 35 and still be hot.
You can be older than 35 and still be hot. But 35 is their arbitrary upper bounds on, like, this is an appealing... This is still a cute and appealing anime girl, is 35.
Well, you can't be in your late 30s. Like, come on.
You can't be in your late 30s, and by God, if you're above, you know, if you're above the big 4-0, it's over for you.
It's over. Fly my wings.
Fly perfect women.
Fly perfect women. Yeah, sorry. I started thinking about whether I should cut that joke out of the podcast. Don't worry about it.
Great.
I'll think about it in editing. Anyway.
The other thing that I like about Leia is that, because she's a super, like, recently released character, I find that her writing is slightly better than older characters are.
Absolutely.
She mentions other characters often. Like, she's Kavi and Yuzu's teacher. She's like, I'm gonna go have tea with Miki. It's like, okay. But also, she, like, her gift, voice line, which they don't label these anymore as, like, this is the gift line, but you can tell. It's, since you brought me such a good wine, I think I'll need to close the store early today if you give her her favorite gift, which is alcohol. And I think that's so good. Like, none of the characters ever mention actually what their favorite gift is. They're like, you know, oh, this is a good one. And it's like, what is it a good one of? Well, her interest is brandy and obedient students. So it's like, you know, you brought her wine.
She's got a really, like, clear and nice and, like, kind of nuanced character.
Right?
Like, she's just, like, kind of well-written. And, like, compelling. Like, there's this whole thing where her, like, students fear her, but in all of her lines, she's, like, constantly talking about how, like, you know, she tries to be nice, you know? She's just kind of, like,
she loves conflict resolution.
Yeah, she does. She loves, like, kids and puppies.
She talks about this all the time.
But she's like, I can't have a kitten or a puppy because they might eat something they're not supposed to. So I just go to the store and I look at them. And I'm like, this is charming. She's charming.
Don't worry, it's inevitable to hurt your fingers in one way or another while taking care of flowers and plants. Similarly, it's because the children and I managed to resolve many conflicts together that they are now able to blossom and bear fruit. It's important to respect a student's autonomy, but a laissez-faire approach shouldn't excuse a teacher's educational failures. Both the stick and the carrot are necessary. And it's like, okay.
She thinks about her job.
She thinks about her job. She likes her job in that she's a teacher, and she likes her job in that she loves brewing potions.
Yeah. And, like, good for... That being said, the fact that she's the teacher of Kavi and Yuzu is the funniest shit of all time to me, because Kavi and Yuzu have completely different aesthetics. And both of them have completely different aesthetics to Leia. And, like, this is fine. Because, you know, you go off and do your own thing when you graduate which school, presumably. But, like...
Presumably.
You put the three of them beside each other, and you're like, okay, figure this one out. And people are like, I guess they're all kind of witch-themed, but they all look the most different.
Kavi is a horny fortune teller. Yuzu is a girl in a kigurumi. And Leia is, like... a consummate professional.
It's just funny to me.
It is very funny. I hadn't thought about this. I was like, oh yeah, witches, that makes sense.
Should we start
the idea that Kavi and Yuzu have anything to do with each other is
know!
bizarre.
That also, Kavi and Yuzu are, like, just like the most like they're just like they're from complete like sometimes I think about Yuzu specifically as like this girl's from like a different game. She's like doing her entirely her own thing. And she's definitely not from the same game as Kavi. Excuse me. But that being said, there is like a tiny bit of through line from both of them to like the thing is Kavi and Yuzu I cannot picture in the same game, but I can picture Kavi in the same game as Leia, and I can picture Yuzu in the same game as Leia. You know what I mean?
But those are two different games.
They're two different games.
Also, Leia looks like she's a character from Potionomics. Moving on.
Yes, do we want to talk about art now?
Yes. Leia's default look.
Leia's default look. Very exciting. This is our first character that features their like newest obsession as of like maybe a year and a half ago, which is having women with straps that go down the middle of their boobs.
Yes!
Starting with Mirai, they have this all the time now, and I don't know why. I mean, I understand why, because it's like, you know, it's boobs. It makes you look at the boobs. Not that you need help with that, because they're boobs, but whatever. You know, I understand the concept of why this is a sexy art thing of like, well, you have to think about things being between the boobs for your purposes. However, it also like for anyone who has or has
speaking
ever
from
had
experience
boobs.
has ever had boobs.
Will look at this and
still
freak
feel
out.
this. I can imagine the texture of this.
They
like,
deleted all knowledge of boobs from your mind, but you still have this like animal sense of like
this would be bad. No, it's like sometimes having boobs squish each other is kind of uncomfortable and sweaty. And so sometimes it's like, wouldn't it be nice if there was something in between them? And the answer is no. No, it would not. Sometimes if you're me, you're like, I'll try this in order to see if it'll improve my life. And it's like, no, it does not. This is more uncomfortable.
Well, you know, I'll like, I was thinking today, because I was at the pool with my shirt off in the hot tub, and I was just like, I sure do talk about my own boobs on the podcast a lot. That being said, here we are. You know, sometimes I'll like do a little kind of like tucking my undershirt under my boobs to like, you know, pick up some of the sweat. But like, and my boobs don't really squish together unless I'm wearing a bra that does that, which is not really a thing I do anymore. However, it's like the difference between having something under your boobs and between your boobs. This is even a problem with like certain bras that put like a thing between your, like I have this problem with just push-up bras where there's like the edge of the bras between your boobs. Again, not a thing I've worn in a long time, but which is there's a lot of kind of like, you know, your boobs do a lot of sort of vertical motion, you know? And having something that's like along the line of that vertical motion is bad. Having something like under that vertical motion is fine, but like along the line of that vertical motion, this specific strap is also it's not as bad as when we get to Mirai. We'll talk about Mirai's many awful boob straps. This one
multiple and awful.
Bond up Leia has a boob strap that I'm kind of okay with, and we'll get there. But this
I was
one
about to click into it, and then I was like, no, we'll get there.
We'll get there. Don't worry. I just have talked about it because me and some people were trying to figure out, but we'll get there. But this one looks like a belt, you know? It's got like belt textures. Yeah. It's got a belt clasp.
Basically everything that Leia is wearing is either like, I mean, her coat kind of straddles the line, but at least the top of it is clearly leather. And then the bottom of it kind of becomes sheer and also is like, you know, has a more ruffled fabric thing going on where it's, I don't know, it's really just a normal fabric material. It's like cotton, whatever. But like, you know.
I think, yeah, I mean, we can step away and talk about more things, but, or finish your sentence. Sorry, my bad.
But like, you know, I don't know, these straps that she has all over her outfit, and, like, the main part of her coat, and also the multiple belts that she's wearing, she's, like, you know, she's a JRPG character. She's covered in leather. So this is, like, a leather belt.
I don't think
Between
it's a
her
leather
boobs.
belt. To me, it's one of those sort of like woven. It looks like one of those woven fabric belts. It's the same
That's
thing
so
as
much
that's
worse.
on her. I know. I'm aware that it's worse, but like it's the same thing that's on her belt, right? And this to me is sort of like one of those adjustable woven fabric belts. That's sort of that thick. Yeah, you know, it's bad.
I don't like thinking about that. I really don't.
That being boobs. Okay, so if we take our eyes away from her boob strap, I know,
What?
hard. Fellas, stay with me.
Fellas, stay with me.
Stay with me. And we look at literally every other part of this outfit. I think that this outfit generally kind of bangs hard. Like, you are correct that she's extremely JRPG character. I don't really think that's a bad thing. I think that this coat
certainly not.
goes hard. I would argue that the coat itself is probably made out of, like, it's like trench coat material. It's like a cotton.
Okay, yeah.
I think, like, the way the light falls on it, it's, like, pretty matte. It's not that reflective. It does go into these ruffles. These ruffles could be made out of leather, but that would be awful. I think that this is just like a cotton trench coat.
I can accept that.
Just like a twill
into
trench
my
coat.
personal philosophy.
But, like, it's kind of a sick coat dress thing. Like, it's just kind of cool. I like her little skirt under it. She's just like, and I really, really, like, if we ignore the fellas, stay with me.
Fellas, stay with me.
If we ignore the boob strap coming out of it.
I'm trying.
This, like, collar choker that has this, like, necklace with the flowers and this weird little ascot thing is kind of
it's
sick.
great.
I kind
It's
of
awesome.
love it.
I'm sorry. Fellas, we're back. I can't get over. Listen, this like choker collar thing is incredible. I'm a big fan of putting like an ascot or a cravat or like whatever have you on a guy. I think it is always more fashionable than you will give it credit for. And like this flower ornament, fantastic. And like, you know, just generally her kind of whole like, you know, she has red and she has white and she has like a brassy color that can occasionally be more green olive-y.
Yeah, and then these tiny little hints of purple.
Yeah. And that's her deal. But like the thing which I'm fixated on about this whole situation is just that the boob strap seems to be coming out of the middle of
yeah,
her.
It comes like out of a fold in the ascot, and this is curious to me.
It's you can't like have this accessory without like.
Yeah, is the boob strap detachable? Is it like
doesn't
modular?
seem so.
No, you would really have to sort of like get up in the folds of there to sort of detach it.
It looks like a tag you have to like tear off.
Yeah, you'd void your warranty.
You would. Anyway, I think her overall design and aesthetic is phenomenal. So I'm gonna go over it real quick. She's got, you know, she's got a trench coat top. It's white. It's got these sleeves that, you know, taper and sort of flare out at the ends and are, you know, kind of pleated. And it's like a dark kind of wine red on the inside. And then she's got a belt, and underneath the belt, which also has a little potion on it, this trench coat becomes a dress with a high slit all the way up to the waist, that, you know, is like, ends in, again, a bunch of little sort of flourishes of fabric. She's got heels. She's also carrying...
sick heels.
She's got sick heels.
Beautiful
Let me be clear.
heels.
These are great. I feel like, you know, I'm always sort of more respectful of a character design if they clearly put effort into the shoes. And, like, these are pretty simple, but they look great. This is also how I feel about KR976, whose shoes are not simple, and they look great.
And they look great.
but she's also carrying a bag with presumably potions in it, but also like a staff.
Yeah, it's like, can we linger on this for a second? Or do you want to finish like an overall?
I mean, she's got like a long braid in the back of her hair. She's got red hair. She's got a flower in her hair and a headband. That's it.
I have like every detail in this outfit to talk about. I like this outfit. We don't have to kill time, but I would like to. I like talking about this outfit.
I mean, it goes hard, so
it goes hard. This bag is insane. First of all, tiny detail I just noticed right now. This bag has this sort of like cyberpunk patterned sort of strap around it, and it's the same thing. It's her hairband is the same. Generally,
it is.
Right? Isn't that weird? Generally, I really like her kind of modern, like almost touching cyberpunk a little bit witch thing. I think that's very cool. Again, Kavi and Yuzu are both going for a very classic thing in their own way.
Yuzu's sort of a nature-y,
she's sort of like a D&D druid kind of thing, and Kavi is, she's like a pinup. Yeah, Halloween witch, but she's just like, this is sort of like a fun interpretation of like what a like modern business owner witch would look like.
Again, this is a character from Potionomics.
And so she has
I say this not least of which because Potionomics just looks like porn, but
I don't know what this is. Hang on, I'm gonna look up like one screenshot.
You will understand what I mean as soon as you look at any of the art from this video game.
Okay, Potionomics. Images.
Waiting with bated breath for Ivy to... There you go.
I found a screenshot that sort of... This is, from the cursory glance around, this is less just porn than you're making it seem, but that's fine. It's
also a good video game. But it looks like it was drawn by somebody who, draws a lot of porn.
But, like, she's got this very, like, modern bag that is arranged in this insane way. I don't know why it's open. I don't know why the potions...
I know. It looks like an artist's portfolio, like, in that way where, it's just, like... It's like a fold-up...
Yeah.
It's open at the ends...
Does it have gold bars at the end? Is she bringing those to her trading post to exchange them for LMD? But like, sorry, I'm playing a lot of Arknights. This is Ash's fault. Speaking of things looking like porn, I do really
say more. Fellas, we're back.
Fellas, we're back, except not, because I really, really like that. Like this dress coat, which again, awesome, has like this big slit, but then under it, she's just like wearing like, I guess it's not knee length, but it should be knee length, but her legs are
her legs are way
long.
Too long.
Not hold up your fingers and measure up to her waist and then measure it. It's like
already have.
Her legs are like twice the length of her torso. I think more.
Part of the problem is that she's belted at the waist, and that waist is very cinched, and then she does not have a clear spot where her hips end and legs begin. And
I guess if I measure from the hips, then it's a little bit more reasonable.
It's a little bit more normal. However, it still looks wrong.
Anyway, but it's fine. She's a JRPG character. But I like that she's just like wearing this skirt under there. That's just kind of like a nice, like, reasonably modest pleated skirt. Because it makes it feel like this is just like an outfit that you would wear it out. Like, she's just like out.
If you are in a JRPG, yeah.
But like, even like, if I saw someone on the street, looking like several characters in this game, even in their default look, which is often like this sort of big side slit and then nothing underneath, I would be like, that's a lot. Have a good time at the club. But I see her on the street, and I'm like, have a good time at the club. But I don't think that's a lot. And that's nice. Again, she's just like...
It's nice not to think that it's a lot, and that she could just have a good time at the club.
She could just have a good time at the club. I really like this little potion. I really like how much it looks like sort of like a level 2 or 3 bile flask from Blasphemous with its weird little pointed bottom. She smashed that on her face. Nobody knows what I'm talking about.
I know.
Ash knows. We were just
I'm
talking
here for
about
you.
this. I know.
The new
Thanks.
Blasphemous 2 DLC just came out, so it's on the mind.
It's on the mind. I like her little hair ornament.
It's great.
That like matches her fucked up little collar thing. Like it's great.
I feel like something that I lose in this outfit a little bit is that, like, this is just a symptom of the fact that they only show characters, like, you know, heads or full body, and, you know, there's no middle sliders. But I rarely, if ever, register that she has this big braid. And, like, the top, they're just, like, head, like, bust shot up. You know, she looks fantastic. Her hair looks great. I just rarely register that it's also in this, like, braid, partially because it just, like, doesn't look like it's kind of coming out of where the rest of her hair is.
Yeah, her
it has
hair
sort of a Lin Lang tail problem.
Yeah, it's just kind of like where in her hair does it's really not clear. There's not like a clear like weight falling from her hair. But you're correct in that I really do like her headshot. Like I think her face is drawn really well.
Oh yeah,
like,
it's great.
Her expression is really compelling. It's a really kind of like, hey, you know, it's not like it's like almost a sultry look, but like not quite. She's just like, oh, I've spotted you on the street and I'm interested in you. It's nice.
I'm really fond of, like, the way that her eyes are drawn.
Yeah.
This is kind of an unusual way. I mean, they have a bunch of artists, so they have a bunch of usual ways that they draw eyes. But this is still kind of an unusual way, in that her pupils are basically the same color as some of these, like, darker accents at the top of her eye. And so it just kind of gives her this, like, vaguely spacey look that I really appreciate. Spacey isn't the right word.
Starry.
Sure. It's like, you know, sometimes when women are creepy, their eyes are just like, you know, blobs of color rather than sort of full eyes with focus in them. And she has kind of a look that's like that. And I appreciate that. Because this like, you know, visual of her makes it very much look like she's looking down at you. And that's part of what makes her kind of scary teacher thing so evident from first blush.
But her eyes don't look dead. They look very alive.
Yeah, absolutely.
And scary. She has like a real nose, kind of.
Yeah. She's the suggestion of a real nose.
It's like, I just like her. I remember she came out and it was like, her Bond up.
She did get immediately overshadowed by Cynthia, who is wearing pants.
She did get immediately overshadowed by Cynthia on account of Cynthia's wearing pants. But I was a bigger fan of Leia than anyone else I knew. I was like, Leia kind of whips. Like this is just like a sick jacket. I just really love a good jacket. I got so many jackets for no reason. I like her white gloves. I just really like. This is just like a compelling shot. Like this pose is like the silhouette on it is a little bit messy. But it's like a good pose. Again, this like hand in her pocket is fun. It's just like she just looks nice.
Yeah.
It's like I wish her legs weren't so fucked up because like I think the posing on
I mean,
legs
this is
nice.
often how it goes with Mushroom Soul. I wish her legs weren't so fucked up. C'est la vie.
C'est la vie. Anyway.
Sorry. One little detail I want to like point out before we move on.
Okay.
Moving swiftly on from my sort of shitty joke attempt. Is like this strap that sort of like weaves between this, you know, slit in her dress coat. Is first of all great. I love the line that it has. I love the way that line kind of leads into the lines of these like ruffled folds at the bottom.
Yeah.
It's like phenomenal. It just looks very good. It's gothic almost. I really appreciate it. And I love a JRPG character, so I love the fact that she's covered in belts, and she also has like a strap hanging down from her sleeve with this big, like, stupid triangular belt buckle on it, and it's like, hell yeah.
Uh-huh.
Honestly, hell yeah. Also, her dress has pockets. I didn't really think about this, but it just does.
Well,
Anyway,
it's a jacket, yeah.
yeah. I just, respect. But this strap, if you look way down at the bottom of it, it has this little, like, marker on it. These 3 red lines. And I don't know what the fuck this is supposed to be, but on the same level as her weird cyberpunk headband and cyberpunk bag, it's like, makes this feel like either this is a, designer item and that's a maker's mark, or it's just, like, the same kind of subtle hint of, like a more futuristic design philosophy in just like parts of her outfit, and I really like it. It's like, this is the tiniest little detail that no one is going to notice, but I really like it. It's the fact that it's there really amuses me.
Yeah,
I like it when there's tiny little details in the outfit and they seem like they're kind of there for a reason. It's just, it shows some intentionality. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I was gonna say that I generally appreciate how, like, every single pattern on her outfit repeats at least once. Like, the flower on her necklace is also the flower in her hair. The stars on her jacket that sort of take the place of buttons /R buttons ? Are also the stars on her shoes. The, like, potion on her hip is also the jewel on her staff. It's just, like, a really well... It's mostly those things. She has these sort of, like, few repeating motifs, and it's just, like, really nice.
Yeah.
She just looks nice. She just looks nice.
It's just, like, been a while since we did a really, like, a character design that really makes sense the whole way through. Like someone designed it. Yeah, extreme dig at my iHeart.
Had a woman who we sort of enjoy looking at.
Listen, we enjoy looking at women sometimes, even if their outfits are shit. But, like, this is great.
Yeah. I just like, yeah.
We're about to move on to our emotes, I imagine. And I do just want to say before we do that, looking at the overview of her emotes, how awful this boob strap is.
Oh yeah, they just can't.
It's so in the emotes. It's not like between the boobs even. It's just like
she's just like a line.
It's like the thin red line from Limbus Company. It's like she's about to be cut in half.
Well, in Leia 0, the first emote, she is just like, she's just doing a little chuckle. And there's that boob strap, but she's just got her sort of hand at her chin, and this sort of big smile with rosy cheeks and little sparkles coming off of her. I don't know why this website is sort of rendering the edges of the transparency edges of this emote like shit.
Good for them.
That being said, I think that, first of all, this is an extremely modern emote. We have no idea, like, again, how their emote drawing process works. Even less credited than the rest of the art in the game. However, this looks markedly different from the My emotes. It's got, like, a different shading style. It's got a different level of detail. And it looks really nice, IMO. Her face is really pleasant to look at here.
Oh, yeah. It's really good.
Soft and chubby, and it's got this, like, warmth that's radiating out of it. It's really nice.
I do have, like, qualms with this emote. First of all, don't look at that hand for too long. Second of all, the, like, color of her headband is less white than it is, like, sort of a grayish blue. And this just kind of bothers me on the level of, like, the visual balance. It's the same color as, like, the jewel in her, flower ornament instead. And I'm like, no, it's fabric.
Yeah, I guess they're trying to capture, like, shadows coming from the hair, but it doesn't really work.
No, it's not. No. Also, don't look at her hand for too long, but, like, I'm telling you kind of to look at that hand, because it's, like, a feather duster.
It is. I do like the positioning of this hand. Like, I like this
The positioning
pose.
of the hand, perfectly fine. The idea of, like, drawing it with all the fingers, also fine. Execution, it's a feather duster.
Yeah.
This is the same as her ascot.
Uh-huh. She's putting another ascot up to her chin to see how it looks compared to the other one. We're like, this one or
Anyway,
this
it's a good
one?
emote.
It's a good emote.
I think they managed to capture her pretty well in emotes, generally speaking, because she has some shit on her head and some shit, like, you know, on the top part of her body, generally, but not too much.
Yeah,
She
I
has,
also
like,
feel like
a thing in her hair.
they capture her, like, messy hair really well. Her hair
Oh,
kind
yeah,
of
absolutely.
never looks quite the same emote to emote, but that's fine, because it's just kind of like a mess. Like, it has distinct elements, but it's mostly just kind of a mess, and they do generally a good job with this.
It's got this loop at the back that's, like, always on the left. It's got, like, it's got longer on the left, generally, than it is on the right for her, like, you know, sides. And then it kind of, you know, just, like, mostly goes behind her on the right. And that's, you know, that's all you can get out of her. She's, like,
we didn't
her
really
hair
talk
is
about,
insane.
we didn't really, sorry, briefly going back up to the art, but, like, we didn't really talk about this because we were busy talking about the braid, but I do love how, like, completely fucked her bangs are. Like,
Oh, yeah.
her bangs are like 8 different lengths. It's kind of great. Like, she clearly just kind of hacks away at this with a pair of gardening shears, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, she just, like, doesn't really care. It just needs to, like, not be in her face, like, too much, but even then she doesn't care that much.
It's funny because she's a consummate professional, but she's also, like, still, you know, living out the lesbian fantasies of her younger years.
Uh-huh.
This is my read on this. In Leia 1, the second emote, speaking of doing her hair quite well, look at how it moves here, and, like, the braid looks normal. You know,
Oh, yeah, it's also tiny. They did
small,
not scale it with her head, which is really funny.
It's morally right for them to do this. In this emote, she's evil. She's on a, you know, sort of like purplish gray background with these black lines coming up from the bottom. She's, you know, got a deranged expression, but, you know, tags positivity. She's laughing, she's looking upwards, you know, she's got angry eyebrows. And her hair is sort of whipping in the wind behind her. Her chest is all puffed out and her arms are, like, you know, going behind her, like she's about to, you know, she's doing an evil laugh or about to make an evil pronouncement of some kind. And also, her boob strap looks more like some kind of tie here. I mean, it looks the same, but in context, it looks like she's, you know, it's her evil tie that she wears because she's evil.
Yeah. Classic classic brooch ascot tie setup.
Mm-hmm.
Just all of them.
Also, the, like, lighting on her face here is honestly phenomenal.
Yeah,
like,
it's kind
of... It's
like,
really weird.
This, like, streak of dark across her with the, like,
but
lighting
then her
falling
chin
on...
is lit, and this somehow doesn't read as weird.
No, it kind of looks awesome. It, like, really works. It's like everything is in light except for her eyes and mouth, and it is really compelling in a way that is difficult to explain. I really like that this is the only image we see of her in which her eye has a distinct black pupil. Like, it makes it look like here she is, like, focused and present and aware and is about to kill you. And it's really nice. It's just, like, kind of a good, like, this just has such, like, a strong... This is such, like, a strong, like, anime villain-ass expression. It's good.
Good for her.
Good for her. Honestly, good for her.
Good for her.
Good for her.
They keep adding more tags to these emotes. I'm looking at Leia 2, the third emote.
Silence and distrust. It is correctly in the silence emotes because it's a ... emote. Why distrust? We'll never know.
Who knows?
She doesn't trust.
I mean, that's a strong soul read. Is to read this as distrust.
In this emote, her head is like hung a little bit, and she's sort of looking off to the side. She has like a gray circle behind her. She's got a little ... and her mouth is real small and closed, and her eyes are just like these black rectangles.
Is she looking off to the side, or are her eyes closed?
I think her eyes are closed, is the idea.
Yeah. Okay, great.
Okay, great. This one, I don't have that much to say about, but it's pretty
cute.
good. It's cute. Sort of a classic ... emote. I have no qualms. I have no issues.
I mean, it's very cute. I have no qualms, and I have no issues.
Yeah. Why have qualms or issues?
I like the way that her head is hung. I will say, from a character perspective, I'm not sure why this is her ... I feel like you could have done something more normal, which is to say, had like a, thinking sort of face for her. But like, I sleep is a strange vibe to give off.
To me, this isn't I sleep. To me, this is sort of like sigh. This reads okay to me, because it's sort of like the students are being rowdy, sigh. I close my eyes and imagine,
beleaguered.
5 p.m. when
Imagine
they leave.
5 p.m.
Imagine 5
Well,
p.m.
this emote to me now is where you imagine 5 p.m. Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm here for you.
It's a perfectly good emote.
Yeah. Again, this is a very recent character. And
they know what they're doing.
They've just gotten, like, pretty good at their jobs.
Which is crazy, because it feels like it took them a while, and also they're not always good at their jobs, because they have a bunch of different artists, and some of them have gotten really good at their jobs. Other ones... I mean, I shan't say.
I will say that, like, it's fine, but her, like, just because of, like, changing perspective and stuff, like, her chest alternates between looking very full and very flat in her emotes.
Oh yeah, it does look really flat in this one, and in the first one.
It kind of goes like flat, full, and then you can't see it for a little bit, and then it's flat again at the end.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This is like fine. It's just like a little weird.
I see. She's
feels
transgender.
Like sometimes
moving right.
Sometimes she just, she just slaps on some of that binding tape.
Exactly.
That's what the strip is. It's a little piece of binding tape that she's just kind of like hanging onto.
I mean, you never know when you might need it, but only one strip. In Leia 3,
she
the
can
fourth
maybe
emote,
do one boob with that. Maybe.
I know. It's like, that's what's happening in her last emote. It's just one boob bound and the other one not.
We'll get there.
In Leia 3, the fourth emote, scared. She's on, a gradient of, like, dark blue to slightly lighter dark blue, that's, like, oozing down from the top.
Classic oozing down background.
First you ooze down vertically from the top. Then you look frightened horizontally to the side, which is what she's doing. She's, like, physically recoiling. She's, like, slanted at sort of a, slight angle where she's leaned away from the left side of the image. She's got that classic, shadow over half of her face. But her eyes are, like, super wide and super pale. And instead of pupils, she just has little white dots. And her mouth is, open and sort of amazed and frightened, and she's got a little sweat drop.
I think the posing on this for, like, a basically headshot emote is, like, kind of awesome. Like, the way her hair moving really, like, emphasizes this recoiling thing in a way where she just, like, doesn't need movement. She doesn't have movement lines, but she doesn't have movement lines, and she's, like, barely slanted. But you can tell that she's recoiling very, very clearly. And that's just, like, good. That's just good execution. It
does make her look a little bit like she's about to fall over.
Which is...
no, girl.
Fine, she's staggering backwards.
Girl,
they have replaced her brooch with a fleur-de-lis. Why? No idea.
Wait, hold on. What?
Right? The jewel is not there, and it's a fleur-de-lis. I'm right.
Okay, I can kind of see the way in which this is still the flower, but you're right. It does look like a fleur-de-lis. I was like, is this a beta design? And I'm like, no, I think it's just that the flower looks really weird in this. But, like, you're not wrong.
Uh-huh. But like in general, I also feel like they've done the top of her outfit pretty well in this emote. It's a little messy, but it looks fine. And she like has boobs in this emote again. She, you know, she's applied her many oils and taken it off.
I own so much sunflower oil that I'm never gonna use anymore.
You can send it to me.
Just like a half full body bottle of sunflower oil and half a roll of tape.
You can send it to me. You can't send me the sunflower. Well, actually, maybe if you label it correctly, you can get it through the mail. But I just bought a roll of this stuff. You can just send it to me, and that would save me some sunflower oil purchasing.
Great.
But I do love her eyes here. They're insane.
Yeah, it's good.
This is so striking. Again, they like do this like face half shadowed like for basically everyone. But like these kind of like piercing, bright, glowing blue eyes, like they're not even that much lighter than the shadow, but it's such a strong effect, and it really gets across this like, you know, I am very scared, but also I'm about to laser beam you. Like it gets across this like I'm freaking out, but like also
it's okay because I have my laser beams.
Yeah, but also like you're about to die. I'm about to like enter my, you know, magical essence mode. Question mark? Why did I say that? Who can say?
And yep.
But
wow,
it's like,
just like in Bleep. Weirdly, I'm fixated on her hair here just because it feels... I mean, I'm sure that the braid actually is kind of the same as it is in the second emote, but it looks thicker just because they don't have the other end of it, like, visibly on screen. And so it's, like, you know, just kind of like it. I mean, I like both ways that they do it. I like it when it's small, and I like it when it's kind of suggested to be bigger here. But still, it's like, I don't know, I just like that it's there.
Yeah, it adds to the movement and to, like, the angle of the shot. It's good. Having a really good time with Leia so far.
It's strong.
She's, you know... Leia 4. The fifth
emote. It's yours.
This is mine? Oh, yeah right. In this... This one's kind of insane. It's not that complicated. She's crossing her arms and has her hands up, like, no. And she's got big open mouth and big wide white eyes. And like two sets of eyebrows. And these like big action lines. They're in the foreground, which is kind of cool. Going like spiking out of her as she's like, no! Big mouth.
Does a yell, you know.
Yeah. This one I'm not so sure about. First of all, she's kind of got that like she's like her the way that her eyes and two eyebrows. Am I wrong about this?
No, I think that you are wrong about this.
I don't
know where the second eyebrow you're thinking of is.
What? There's the one that slant down diagonally from the top. And then there's the ones that go circular over the horizontally from the side.
Circular?
What? Hang on. Let me pull this shit into MS
Where? Paint. Circular? What?
Text.
I don't know
What's the standout color?
What you're talking about. What? Oh, are you thinking about the highlights in her hair?
No. Hang on. One.
Please enlighten me. And only me, and not our other listeners.
Wait, this needs to be a different line thickness. We have this one, and then we also have... like, maybe you can, but like, there's the ones that are slanting down, and then there's the ones that are like going over in an arc over her eyes. It,
Over
it's
in an
like,
arc? Over, like, the top of her eye?
is that supposed to be the top of her eye? Here,
Yes.
I've drawn
Those
you
are
only
just-
you a diagram.
Yes, what you're referring to is just the top of her eye.
Okay,
It's
That's fair.
I understand where you're coming from, but you're reading it as though like the little white circles are all that there is of her eye, and she's also just like, has some kind of strange raccoon mask thing going on. But the whites of her eyes are contained in, that circular bit, and then also like the little lines underneath those white circles, which are her, irises.
That's fair. I do like the little lines under her eyes. They make her look extra
They make her look
shocked.
stressed.
And they make her look stressed. They also make her look a little bit old, which I like.
Let's
I
go
do feel...
old women.
Let's go old women at the 35-year-olds,
Let's go 35-year-olds.
Any 35-year-old women
guess are
listening
old
to...
women.
Uh-huh.
According
You're
to our
listening.
YouTube statistics, there must be a 35-year-old woman listening to this. If you're out there, send us a sign.
Send us a sign. YouTube comments feature, Tumblr asks feature. Let us know. If you're
Whatever
listening and you're a
whatever is
35-year-old
possible
woman,
for you.
whatever works, babe. This emote, first of all, her eyes and her eyebrows, one set, but also just generally her eyes are just kind of drawn in a different style that like kind of sticks out from her face. She looks kind of like, I don't know, she looks kind of like, the thing that's coming to mind is Wind Wakery, which I feel like I say weirdly a lot, but it's just like this very sort of like black and white cartoony style, but like the rest of her head is not drawn in that way, and so they really stick out, and I'm not sure whether I like this or I don't like this, but it's certainly very affecting. Okay, well, if you like it, then I like it.
Okay, yay.
But I do really, something about these like, these yell action lines being like in the foreground really gets me. They just like don't do this very often. That they like overlap and like stick into her is like sort of compelling as an image. I feel like her clothes are kind of drawn weirdly. I don't know why they
they're
draw
kind of just kind of
people's
a mess.
clothes weirdly sometimes. Why do they do this? We'll never know.
We'll never
but, like,
know.
her sleeves are kind of like a mess of just kind of shades of white. In a way that they don't need to be. But like, posing strong. Eyes, they're doing a fun thing. These action lines, super fun. Very, extremely conveys like exactly what it wants to convey.
Very strong emote, IMO.
She do a yell.
She do a yell.
Uh-huh.
I definitely see what you mean about the eyes kind of seeming to hover above the rest of the image, especially with, the tops of her eyes that are the tops of her eyes.
Yeah, they feel like they're kind of like, someone like
replaced her eyes
some...
as they should be in this emote with a different set of eyes.
Yeah, someone like Sharpied over top of this image.
However, I like it.
Yeah, it's fun. She's yelling at you because it's like 30
She's
minutes before... It's 30 minutes before the end of the class. You can't go to the bathroom. Just like hold out. We're almost there.
In Leia 5, the 6th emote, I now have no problems with numbers, for the record. She's so sad. She's so sad. Her eyes are big white circles again, but instead of being, just white circles because she's upset and scared, she's instead, like, they're just blobs that sit on her cheeks, and she's got tears in her eyes, and her mouth is all, she's, like, her lip is wobbling, like she's about to cry, and she's got her, like, fist held up to her chin. I don't know what this is supposed to convey, but she does. There's nothing in the background. She's kind of just standing there, looking to the left, but, she's gonna cry. Oh no.
I think they did... first of all, her outfit looks good again.
Yeah,
They
welcome back.
they turned on the outfit good meter, and it looks quite good, IMO. Like for like a tiny rendering of this sort of complicated outfit.
Yeah.
I love the like suggestion of depth in her face in this emote.
I know.
Like
She's
here,
got
her
the
eyes
cheeks.
don't feel like they're like drawn over, even though they're the same kind of eyes, because like the way that they're flat at the bottom and the tears are like holding on and like the rosy, like it really, you can like see her cheeks, even though
She's got
you
the
can't
cheeks,
actually.
she's got very, it helps that they keep doing this in all of her emotes, I think. It's, I guess it's just the first emote that I'm thinking of. But, she's just got like she's got very rosy cheeks. And I'm personally fond of this all the time for every character. I always draw people with extremely rosy cheeks just because I think it gives some color and life to their face. But it extremely helps here because, oh no, Leia, no,
Yeah,
she's gonna
like
cry.
No. Like her cheeks aren't actually drawn with depth, really, but like there's this like illusion of depth. The illusion of life. This is a reference to anyway. Is like really good. Like her cheeks look.
You could just grab them and squish them.
You could just
around.
grab them and squish them, and they're so big that they can hold the tear like sitting on top of them. It looks awesome. Just like genuinely, just like so well done. Like this little thing.
And furthermore, oh no.
Oh no!
Oh,
She's gonna cry.
No! Don't do that. You're gonna make her cry.
Don't make her cry.
Don't make her cry. She's a 35-year-old woman.
She's a 35-year-old woman. Listen,
She's cute.
If you're listening and you're a 35-year-old woman, you're allowed to cry.
But also, oh no.
But also, oh no.
Yeah, I really like that one. I like how evocative it is of the fact that she's gonna cry, oh no.
Oh no. She's gonna cry. I like this little fist up to the chin. I think it's cute. It's just like, I don't know. It's not like a common gesture, but it feels reasonably organic. Almost because of that. Like, it's just like, you're like, oh, this is the thing that she does when she's gonna cry. People do weird little things. She's gonna cry. Oh no.
No.
And furthermore, oh no.
No.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no. Anyway, moving on.
It's Leia 6, the 7th emote. It's yours.
Uh-huh. We have to say this every time now, because I keep forgetting, because I'm an idiot. In this one, the purple jewel in her necklace is actually rendered.
Yay! Finally.
But she has, like... This is the only emote in which she has sort of normal eyes as they are in her main art, which is these sort of, like... Her, it's just kind of a normal anime eye, but it's all made of different shades and, like, shades of blue. And purple. I couldn't think of the right words, so I gave up.
I've done this.
She's got a big cauldron, and it's filled with goop. It's filled with green goop. Happy Halloween.
Now that I'm looking at this up close, that goop kind of looks like shit. It's kind of shit goop.
She's got this little triangle mouth, and she's just intently stirring this pot of goop.
Don't get me wrong. I love this emote. She's intensely stirring her pot of goop. It's her thing. However, girl, you're goop.
It does look incredibly viscous, is the thing.
It does.
It looks like
outlines
flubber.
are a little bit above the color. Girl, you're goop.
Girl, you're goop.
You're making low quality goop. It rips you off.
Making low quality JPEGs in your cauldron.
Why are you making low quality JPEGs in your cauldron? I have high goop standards.
Is this one of our students' goops? Listen, if this is the kind of goop she's selling at her store, I don't know.
I will not patronize.
I will give her the benefit of it. Do you think this is Yuzu's goop or is this Kavi's goop in that case?
Oh, this is you. I can't say this without sort of enjoying myself way too much while I do it. This. It's just I want to savor it.
You can't give up on it now. That's for sure. I know exactly what you're going to say is the thing, and I'm just waiting for it.
It's such a good phrase. Everyone say it with me at home. This is Yuzu's goop.
This is Yuzu's goop.
This is Yuzu's goop. Why? It's green.
Also, it's shit.
Also, it's shit.
Yuzu's goop.
Yuzu's goop.
Yuzu's goop.
Yuzu's goop.
I can't name this episode Yuzu's goop because it's not Yuzu's episode.
It's not Yuzu's episode.
Also,
oh no.
Also, this episode, at least thus far, you know, a peek behind the curtain, is either named a kind of spooky Halloween normal, or it's named Fellas Stay With Me.
Why can't it be named Fellas We're Back?
I'll think about it.
Okay, thanks. This emote is tagged as interest. She sure is.
She's
very interested in goop.
She does kind of look like she's about to put her face in it. I don't know why I feel this.
Little detail. Actually, talking about the art of this image, I'm not just being amused by goop. Once again, she's got cheeks. They squish up into her eyes.
Yeah, because she's like, I don't know. She's excited.
She's like squinting, and so she's like got a little bit of cheek up there.
Uh-huh.
And it's like, interested in goop.
Yeah, and her eyebrows are like a little furrowed, but not enough to make her look angry. She's just focused. She's just focused. Focused on goop. On her goop JPEGs.
Focused on Yuzu's goop.
Focused on Yuzu's goop.
Focused on Yuzu's JPEG of a goop. She bought it on eBay. In Leia
and then
7,
she tried to pass it off as her own schoolwork? God damn, Yuzu.
Yuzu.
Let's talk after class.
In Leia 7, the 8th emote, occasionally I get distracted by the reads number at the bottom of these pages, and I wonder if they noticeably go up after we do an episode. I'm not gonna investigate this any further. In Leia 7, the 8th emote, it's her full body shot. She's lying on the floor. In this one, oh no, she's lying on a sort of a dark gray circle, which is her shadow.
Yeah, she's lying on a Nintendo 64 character shadow.
She's lying on a Nintendo 64 character shadow, which is to say a perfect circle. She's got, dark gray, lines of, like, crushing disappointment. And once again, the most cheeks. Her face is all squished, so she's just got little, horizontal lines for eyes, and one, despairing eyebrow with some sweat. She's, her outfit is rendered extremely poorly here, because there's, like, no good way to do this pose and have her look okay. But the thing is that they didn't put the slit in her dress here, even though this is where it should be. Oh, yeah,
this is where it should be.
And so that, like, they just instead made her sort of a worm. Sort of a blob of worm.
She does kind of look like a Hollow Knight grub.
She's wriggling. And I mean, good for her. I support wriggling. That being said, girl, why you so grub? You have an interesting, detailed part of the outfit on that side of your main art. It is like a really compelling and well-drawn piece of art, but now that I've looked at it closely and I've noticed how worm she is, I'm sort of distracted by it.
Yeah, you can't look at that back part, but, like, I feel like her facial expression for being so simple is so compelling and charming and funny here. Extremely weird thing that I like, that is maybe even just kind of an accident. I like how, like, these vertical despair lines kind of like flow into her little hair charm. Something about this is very charming to me.
This is her vertical despair charm.
Yeah. I am now very distracted by how she's a grub. Ash.
She's
Ash.
a worm. Yes?
Give me your best Hollow Knight grub sound.
Okay. You're lucky that I can summon this in my mind immediately. Otherwise, this wouldn't have worked.
Uh-huh. It's alright.
I think that was pretty good.
Yeah. Should I go?
Yeah. Give me your best
Alright.
Hollow Knight grub sound, please. Also very good.
Thank you. We're so hot
good
and
at being
talented.
grubs.
We're so good at being
We're hilarious,
grubs.
charming, hot, talented, worm-like.
Uh-huh.
Writhing.
And fellas, you know,
We're back.
that's all you need. Fellas, we're back.
I'm really campaigning for this to be the episode title at this point. Sometimes we get halfway through an episode and I'm like, I know what the title should be, and I'm going to make it that.
Uh-huh.
That being said, that didn't happen for the My Aihara episode. I really wanted it to be something about how she was a ghost, but she just got those hands like a me, and so that just kind of happened.
Wait, you're the one who said that it has to be, but you're the one who...
I know, but I was really trying.
But you're the one who told me to make it that. That was your title that you picked, and you're telling me that you wanted something different?
I acquiesced to the spirit of the joke. But it was a better title. It just wasn't the one I had envisioned while recording the episode.
I might have preferred something about her being a ghost.
No, but she does got those hands like a me.
She does got that hands like a me. She's got that ass like a grub.
And that will be the structure for all of our titles going forward. Thank you.
Thank you.
I
am thinking about Fellas Stay With Me / Fellas We're Back. You know, just to mix it up a little bit. Anyway.
This one's yours.
In this one,
It's Leia 8, the 9th theme, huh?
Thank you. In this one, she's got a yellow circle in the background. Why am I starting with that? Who can say? She's just kind of like... She's just got... I don't know how to explain this one. She's just got kind of chill vibes.
She does.
Like, she's just kind of like... She's almost like a little bit sort of Han Solo in this one. She's doing like a little sort of finger gun as if she's just done like a little snap. And she's just like, you know, sort of looking off to the side with sort of shaded, sort of monocolored eyes. And sort of like a little mouth. And she's like, hey... I got this. Maybe? I don't know how to explain this one, except that she's got chill vibes.
I mean, she does have chill vibes. What's actually happening in this one is that she's, you know, informing you of something because she's a teacher.
Ah, okay, that makes sense.
But she's doing a little finger gun about it. She's like, by the way, I mean, it's less of a finger gun, and it's more of, you know, that thing that teachers do in cartoons when they're telling you something. By the way, I'm doing it with my hand right now, and a little pose, as if that's something that will appear on the podcast.
People do this little pose. What pose? You'll figure it out.
You have to look it up on mahjongsoul.club/emote/Leia8.
Leia-8.
Sorry, my bad. I forgot my all-important hyphen. Little details I like about this emote. You can see the little, like, chimes of her hair ornament, just barely behind her hair. And I just kind of respect this.
I appreciate that they have her braid going off in the other direction for this, which I think is nice, because they did this because it helps the composition, and I'm like, this is a smart choice. Sometimes they adhere so closely to the character model, especially
that it fucks everything.
Especially on collab characters, which makes sense, but then it fucks everything. So that's nice. I feel like her, you know, I feel like her hand looks good for a chibi hand.
Her hand looks good for once. For the first time.
Her jacket looks pretty good here. Her, like, boob strap is kind of comprehensible as a boob strap, which, like, I don't know if I care for that, but, like,
this is the emote in which she has one tit bound like, and one tit out.
She's, like, flat on one side, but I kind of get it for, like, you know, perspective reasons, I guess.
Sure.
It's like
the thing
sort of conveys the perspective that her shoulders are like slanted a little bit towards us.
They actually do a decent job with this. Oh, you know what that is? It's not her braid. That's the inside of her jacket.
Oh, you're correct.
I'm right. Well, I just realized this because I was thinking about how weird it is that we don't actually, like, see her wrists in the thing. And at first I was like, it's weird that they just have, like, not her jacket. And then I was like, no, look, they do have little white bits. And then I was like, wait, those should be dark red because it's the inside of the coat. And then I was like, wait, that's the inside of the coat is there.
Ash's little journeys.
So I'm charming and hilarious, hot and talented, and very good at making the Hollow Knight grub sound. Anyway,
you know.
I like this emote. This is the most normal of her emotes, maybe excluding the first one. She's got like 3 normal emotes, and then a bunch of ones that are like, you know, not just her in front of a circle doing a Mahjong soul emote. And I respect that, and I appreciate that. This is an extremely nice, sort of pleasant, well-rounded kit that is extremely normal.
Yeah. I, like, you know, she's got, like, a clear character. She's got, like, it's, like, got a good variety of emotions. It's nice.
She's got cheeks.
Yeah, her, like, design works well at emote scale. They, like, use the elements of her design well.
Her design works well at emote scale and at full scale.
Like, I appreciate that, like, you know, they're willing to, like, stick this little hair ornament, like, in the back or in the front, depending on what the image
It doesn't have
needs.
to be immediately visible all the time. Thank you.
And then sometimes, like, in the, you know, when she's on the floor being a grub, you know, the, like, the air ornament hanging down, like, really, like, contributes to this sense of, like, gravity and being pulled to the ground. Like, it's just good. Like, overall, default Leia, from, like, art to emotes, it's good.
Tiny little details of the emotes that I'm just, you know, here to point out extremely quickly, because I just was thinking about those little chimes on the hair ornament. In her I'm Evil emote, the second one, they're, like, also kind of, you know, swaying back to sort of, like, because that's where they would be. She's in motion. So you can't see them, you know, with her hair. But also in emote 4, where she's scared and about to kill you with lasers, they're swinging forward. And so you can see them behind her hair. I think this is very neat.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's so nice. Yeah, the whole, like, all of the, like, little tiny action lines that convey the movement in emote 4 are, like, really good, IMO. I just really like emote 4.
Lasers.
Laser beam.
Laser beam. Should we take a 5-minute break?
We should take a 5-minute break. I need to eat more lasagna. Bye.
Lasagna.
死に歯向かうことで自分の成長を示そうとする幼稚な振る舞い。若い年頃の子ならではって感じで可愛げがあるわよね。師匠はね、そういうわがままはひとまず見逃してあげるものよ。ただし、私が我慢できる範囲で。だけど。
Any Hi, welcome back.
Hi, welcome back. I should cut the context out there, right? And just have it be us doing that?
It's your... Well, no, it's my podcast. Shit. It's your job.
You can delegate. But if I leave in the context, then you have to link it on the Tumblr, and then it becomes your job.
Shit.
So, you know, Just think about it. We'll talk. Sorry, I got a little ice cream, so now I'm eating ice cream, even though Ashes already says welcome back. This is my... People, rate us 1 star on Apple Podcasts, because this bitch is always eating while recording the podcast, and doesn't edit it out, because she hates you personally.
I edited out... Actually, I don't remember if I edited all of this out, or just the bit where I loudly took a bite of food. But I was recording Gone Fishing, and I was in the middle of, like, recording, one of my little daily logs, and I had, like, not even food beside me. I had, like, an almost empty plate with, like, scraps of rice on it. And for some fucking reason, in the middle of talking, I went and, like, grabbed some grains of rice with my finger,
right, I
put it in my
story.
mouth.
Just, like,
I was like, why the fuck
grains
did I
of rice.
do that?
Uh-huh. Hey, here's a
So
new
that
thing.
was,
Uh-huh. Here's a new thing. I'm going to check, like, the other new characters to see if... Oh, no, for Siri, she just doesn't have anything at all. Weird. I don't know if this is a client thing or if this is, like, a wiki thing, but this Bond Up emote just has a whole quote associated with it. Instead of available after making a bonding promise at Ketera.
Oh, emote. Not emote, the outfit. You said emote. I was like, what?
What? Oh, sorry. Yeah, the outfit.
So this was the excuse you came up with after racking your brains for so long. I can tell you've put some effort into it, but unfortunately this won't do. If you want to convince me, you'll need to put in a bit more thought. What is this from? What does this mean?
Assume this is your excuse for being, like, late to class. I don't know.
She's, like, nude.
Yeah, this is her teacher outfit.
First of all, let's, speaking about the art in this Bond Up, let's get it out of the way. She's naked.
I like this one better than anyone else. Every person I talked to about this was like, I kind of hate it. And I was like, I kind of like it.
She's naked, not a critique. It just needs to be said.
Oh, yeah.
You cannot convince me that she is wearing clothes. I know that she is. You can see that she's wearing clothes.
I actually will talk about this, because I think
places-
there's a strong argument that she's not wearing clothes.
All of the places that you could see the clothes that she's wearing have been concealed. And mostly she's just wearing these things on her arms and, like,
Various
a bridal veil.
straps.
Various straps. Pauldron.
Anyway, there's many things to talk about here, but first I'd like to draw your eyes to the bottom of this image. First of all, this white and red checkered floor, I think, is a cute little standee for her to be on.
Yeah.
This
She's white and red.
This Art Deco ass table and chair are kind of sick. Especially this
Not
table.
wrong.
It's kind of a sick looking table. Also, look at the books. All of the titles of these books are different.
Oh my god, they're just
Mahjong
Mahjong tiles.
There's her 8-so
awesome.
book. There's her 2-so book, and then at the
There's
top
her
is
5-peen
her 5-peen book. And
That's
presumably,
actually sick as fuck.
I think this is a really funny touch. Here's the thing. Well, I'm just gonna get all the background out of the way. A little, keeping you on the edge. Fellas, stay with me.
Okay.
But, like, these sort of modern art paintings behind her, hilarious. I love how she has 2 of these, like, black and white squares with a little white dot that are, like, 2 distinct paintings. Like, they have distinct compositions, and it's like, girl, is this, like, a series? Do you get
And also she has it as, like,
but also
a tag on her potion bottle?
As a little, like, bling on her potion bottle.
Yeah, it's not even like a tag, it's on a metal chain.
It's on a metal chain, like the little pet necklace. Girl?
Girl?
This, like, this, like, red and white tree thing is fine. I would, all of these
I actually
things,
like this one a lot.
Yeah,
the red and white tree.
I would put that shit on my wall.
Me too.
But, like,
especially in this insane frame.
Generally, I feel like all of the background elements in this have a very cohesive, fun, sort of like Art Deco style. And it looks nice. She's got little potions. It's cute.
I do like that all of the furniture does look like actually designed, as opposed to often in these backgrounds where they just like put shit there.
It's very
all of these pieces of furniture actually have like, you know,
a design, and they're all like coordinated with each other, but like not too coordinated, but like she's clearly like, you know, furnishes her apartment in this particular, or her teacher's office in this particular
in which she's
style.
naked
in which she's naked. I don't know, it's witch school, anything can happen in witch school.
Sure.
Okay, now we can talk about the outfit. Hey, I like how her hair ornament is sort of a fun little evolution from her last hair ornament.
Oh yeah. They like to do this in Mahjong Soul. We haven't seen like one of these hair ornaments evolving into a new Pokemon in a while.
Her ascot has also evolved into a new Pokemon. Cute.
And the many belts on her dress coat have escaped the dress coat.
And now it's all straps. See, fellas, we're back. Should we talk about this thing between her boobs in this particular thing?
Oh my god, I didn't even notice it was there.
Yes, correct. Because I had a whole argument with someone about this. But
you can say May. It's okay.
I can say May. Hi, May. I know you're a bit behind, but you'll get here eventually.
I was making kind of an educated guess. I feel like I remember you having this conversation, but not that well.
Yeah. May was like, this looks super uncomfortable because I think these are leather straps. And I actually don't think that these are leather straps. I think that these are like light silk straps. To me, the like texture and weight of them as they fall over her, just like the straps that are directly next to her body, convey this kind of light silk to me. And so having like a light silk strap between your boobs, I think would not be that bad. I think that would be okay. It's still too much. But like, if I had to put any like piece of fabric between my boobs, it would probably be something along those lines. And so if you interpret it as that, I think it's okay.
Pause.
Okay, we're pausing.
Not the recording of the podcast.
No,
just
I know.
What you were saying.
I'm pausing.
I just noticed she's wearing a wedding ring.
I
can't decide whether or not this means that she's just
is she
married.
I guess you can't tell.
Or if she's married to you. Like, bond up is kind of like marriage.
But
you make a bonding promise with Leia.
This is a thing I wanted to talk about later as we talk about Kinsey scale number. But, like, she distinctly does not enter into a romantic relationship with you in her bond up. She's like, okay, I'll teach you how to be a witch now.
But also, in her bond up, she's naked.
And
wearing a wedding ring.
Yes.
What does it all mean?
Ash, I want you to just, like, go to her sort of, like, main page and just look at both of... Just sort of take in Leia, sort of
You're really having to tear me away from looking at this image. I'm gonna tell you.
Fellas, stay with me.
Fellas, I'm finding it difficult to stay with you.
I will be back in a second. But just, like, look at this woman, okay? And does this woman not sort of strike you as, like, the most kind of, like, married but polyamorous woman you've ever met in your life?
Sure.
You know?
She's got a part of the greater Seattle polycool energy.
The thing about this outfit is that I literally don't understand how it works. Okay, so like let's start at her ass. Fellas, we're back.
Okay, fellas, we're back. I'm starting at her ass. She has the stockings, and then she has like, you know, they're held up. But where? Where are they being held up to?
Yes,
because these straps are going are to the back of her ass.
Yeah, I'm like, do they go all the way back to meet the straps going down her chest? But what I actually want to talk about is like this dress question mark that trails down to the ground, and then follow the dress, okay, with your eyes. It like
I'm
goes
following.
up. It maybe covers the stomach, except you can see some of her stomach under her boobs. But then like keep following it up and up and up to her shoulder, and the dress kind of just fades out into nothing.
Yeah, I'm
Like,
not sure
just-
if that's like the dress on her shoulder or if it's just light. I feel like it has to end like these pauldron sleeves.
Right, but there's no clear marker of where the dress ends. It's just like
There isn't.
unless like the end. Hang on, is the end of her dress like that tiny? Okay, you see these like fucking insane like hanging bannerets from her thing. Okay,
Yes.
the left pair of bannerets. There's like
That
a
is the
tiny
end of it. That's the end of
line
it. That's the end of it.
between them. That's the end of it. Okay, and then above that is skin, and below that is dress. Okay,
Yes.
all right. Now this outfit is like, it's not really that much more comprehensible, but I no
No.
longer feel like her skin turns into dress. Which like
okay.
she's allowed, but like
She's allowed, but you know, a couple things. I do want to point out, just like real right quick, just like before we get back to like talking about the image, just like scroll, all the way down and like look at her feet for a bit, look at her shoes,
Okay.
and specifically
Fellas,
look
we're
at
back.
her left leg. I went to go scroll up and figure out which leg this was. It's her left leg, and also it's the one that's on our left. And look at the ankle, like where that strap is. There's just like a little bite taken out of it. There's that underneath the strap. That's a bit of the chair.
wait. Oh yeah, there's like a rendering error. This is like
Fellas, she's clipping.
She's clipping backwards into the chair.
They
Fascinating.
took a bite out of her.
Yeah, I think probably they were just kind of like, they like made the foot and then they were just kind of rotating it a bit to get the positioning
No,
right.
I mean, yes.
And then they just
I do
didn't
this.
fill in that thing. Yeah.
I do this. But, like, the amount, like, to rotate the entirety of this fully rendered foot and then to just leave a little slice taken out of it is insane, and I just want to affirm that.
No, this is kind of like you don't see many of these sort of
Nope.
like explicit just rendering errors, but that's what that is.
They took a bite out of her. Okay.
They took a damn bite out of
back
her.
to how she's nude. I don't care how this dress works, whether or not she's wearing clothes, whether or not those clothes are like, relatively real and look like an actual dress. None of this matters to me. Functionally, she is naked. She is not wearing anything.
Oh yeah. This is like
She is listen. How this is presented to you, obviously she's naked. She's got, nothing covering basically any part of her skin that is facing you. Other than things that are sort of like sheer and transparent. But like, even if she were to stand up and show you exactly how this outfit looks, she is naked. She is nude. This is like, at best, lingerie.
Yeah, I'm pretty convinced that this like thing at her top that's made out of all these sort of ribbons of fabric is maybe literally just like, I'm looking at it and I'm now remembering fellas, I'm now remembering the thing that I am aware of, that if I try hard and believe in myself, I can still probably do, but it's been a while. But the style of these sort of like, strap that comes down from between the boobs and then goes up to the sides and, goes around the boobs in this particular way. She's literally just wearing a, like, rope-tied bondage harness made out of, like, ribbons. Which, like, this is the thing, is that, like, I'm just like not a prude. And so I look at this and I'm like, this is kind of a hot look.
No, well, I listen. I haven't listen, fellas.
Fellas,
I'm with you.
we're
This
with you,
image
fellas.
is hot.
Yeah.
Listen, if you disagree with me and think that this image is not hot and is rather in some way, either has a turnoff, maybe it's the fact that there's a bite taken out of her foot, that's okay, I understand. Whether this image has a turnoff for you, or like, whether you are sort of morally disturbed by it in some way, please let me know via the Tumblr Asks feature. I really want to know.
Uh-huh.
I really want to know.
It's hot. It's just also incomprehensible.
It's incomprehensible.
Does
and
she
it's
keep
also
these fucking pauldrons on? These, like, big, chunky
No, the pauldrons
metal
stay on during sex.
They stay on during sex. Yeah, that's fair. But, like, the thing is that
They're useful. They have ropes attached.
They're useful for parrying, in case you need that.
Sorry, this is certainly not the first time something has been said to me, like, as a joke about, like, parrying during sex, but I think about it and it's extremely funny to me.
Uh-huh.
They come in and you just reflect.
Yeah. Listen. She's 35. She knows what's up.
She knows how to parry.
She knows how to parry. Unlike me, who doesn't know how to parry.
No, famously you don't.
But maybe when I'm 35, I'll get there.
It's just like, this is the most, like, well-designed, well-thought-out, like, well-written woman we've spoken about, maybe ever on the podcast? Like, sort of all around good, in a way that doesn't require a lot of reaching.
I mean, I think, like... Hang on, let me pull a list of... Well, not that it matters. You can continue.
And she's, she's just, like... She's just, like... See, every time I think about whether or not I can call Leia an old woman, I'm like, it's rude for me to call her an old woman because she's 35. And
I would not call her 35. You can just call her.
But she's not actually. Woman. She's not actually 35.
Really,
you understand?
I don't know. What? Why?
I feel like she's not 35. Anyway, whatever.
I disagree. Like,
she's a mature adult woman.
She's
a mature adult woman. And, like, her whole thing is that she's, like, a teacher, and she's also kind of nice, but, like, part of the sort of kayfabe of her whole thing is that she's, mean and scary. And then, you, like, grow closer with her as a person, and then she invites you into her office, and there she is, fully nude. And, like...
Wielding her staff.
Very,
and very explicitly.
Hey.
Hello.
That's hot. I think it's hard to deny.
Oh, that was just the... I thought you were going to say that's hot, but no, just hot.
That's just hot.
It is like, yeah.
I have no objections to what she's got going on.
It is like...
I don't think it's jarring for her to suddenly be nude. I don't think it's bad or wrong. I understand maybe that you might want, an image that you could display in public without feeling a sort of titillating shame, where Leia looks sort of significantly different maybe and she's got a cool outfit on. But no. That's not what we're here for. They'll release an outfit for her eventually, and it probably won't be as good as these two images. But, like...
It is like...
What we're here for is to own this image of this hot adult woman in the nude.
Yeah. To speak on her being hot, fellas.
Fellas.
Like, her posing here is, like... you know, it's very sort of, it's relatively standard pinup fare, but it is extremely hot. This, like, hand position is, like, extremely detailed and compelling.
Oh, yeah.
How it's, like,
Absolutely.
pointing you towards her lips and to her eye. The fact that her wedding ring, question mark, is displayed so brashly is kind of
it's
hot.
there.
Again, her eyes, like, I think even more in this one, her eyes are these, like, galaxy swirls
Super,
that you just
super,
kind of,
like, floaty.
get lost in. I think her lips are really nice. Like, her face, just the way, like, the hair, like, falls through her, or the light falls through her hair onto her face. Extremely hot. You know, the way she's just sort of, like, casually holding this staff, which, like, great detail that this is just the staff from the first outfit. This is what she carries it around for. Is just, like, and she's just sort of got it casually off to the side, kind of like, you know, it's not the main focus. You have to look a little hard to find it, almost, but, like, you know, it's there. She's sort of, like, got her legs crossed and, like, sitting sort of sidelong at you so that you can, like, you know, you can see, but, like, you can't see too much. It's just good. It's just, like, good posing. I genuinely, this is the thing about this image, is that I can't decide whether the fact that her outfit is completely fucking insane is a bad thing or a good thing.
It is a total neutral to me. I like the parts of it that you can see. I like her insane pauldron straps. That's really the only thing I'm talking about here. The insane pauldron straps, pretty great. Her, like, weird, you know, veil thing. Conceptually, this kind of freaks me out. I don't like when characters suddenly are wearing wedding veils. I don't know why. It just, like, is weird.
Yeah.
But, like, in the composition of this image, worked extremely well. You know, I don't care.
Like,
I don't give a shit.
Yeah,
She's naked.
yeah, that's I like this. What is this dress? How does it connect to her fucking bondage harness at the tops? Who knows? However,
usually that's the point. Right now, not the point.
Well, no. Hang on, fella.
Okay.
I Ash,
Hello.
my good fella, my darling fella. Stay with me. The
I'm
thing is
staying.
that, like, I like I like the, like, fucking waist down dress, because it serves a purpose in making this image more hot, which is that, like, it like conceals her ass, and it, like, conceals where this garter strap is going, which, like, makes it more hot. It's like it hides a little bit from you in a good way. And that's the purpose it serves, and it does not serve the purpose of being a comprehensible piece of clothing.
I can accept this.
Why
It's
are
an
parts of it
extremely
sheer
well
and parts of
composed
it...
image.
Yeah, it is. It's just hot. Fellas,
we're still here.
we're here. Fellas, we got there.
Fellas, we got there. Anyway, this, like, game is usually about, you know, I mean, listen, it usually sort of pretends to be about, you know, all the fun outfits, and, like, you know, outfit being taken relatively literally, like, actual, you know, sort of clothing that you can put characters into. This is what it would like to pretend to be about. It's actually about sort of putting those characters in situations of, you know, just varying situations. But often, a Bond-up at least, is just, like, the outfit. This one is not that. And that's weird. However, you know, I will be the first to admit that when I saw this character teased, and I saw the first part of her Bond-up in the corner of the image, just like, you know, again, like a bust shot, I was like, don't know how I feel about that one, boss. But, no. Actually, this is just a different thing. This is just, you know, it's good.
Oh, hey.
Hi.
Hi, I think I lost you for a while. You went silent for a while, and then I heard, but no, it's good. And I was like, okay, well, I guess I personally will lose every part of that, except that it's good.
Don't worry, most of it was just kind of me stuttering.
Okay, well, a little treat from me in editing.
Mm-hmm.
That one's just for you, editing, Ivy.
That one's just for you, editing, Ivy.
Uh-huh. It's just
like her braid trails down the chair in the same way as all the straps trail down the chair. Like, it's good.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's
good. Fucking good image.
It's a good image. Everything like really nicely, like her, her braid and her arms and her legs, they like point up to her face. It's nice. Good image. She's hot.
Good image. The only people tagged redhead are Leia, Siri, and the sports boy, Natsuhiko.
Uh-huh. That is not true. There have to be other redheads.
They're the only ones tagged as redhead.
This doesn't matter.
Okay.
I like staying with Leia. I'm enjoying my time here in Leia land.
There are other redheads, and their name is the fox boy. Ain. I can never remember his name.
Okay, so if we go to Leia 10, Leia 10, the first Bond Up emote.
If you don't, provide me with adequate Tamagotchi, bars, then I start clicking on links.
Uh-huh. Well, I just wanted to look at it because I saw it out of the corner of my eye, and I was like, oh, I guess this sort of gives us an idea of what this outfit hypothetically is supposed to look like.
Yeah!
But this is not what this outfit looks like, really.
No!
First of all, she doesn't have... After them so lovingly rendering the boob strap in her default every single time, she doesn't have the boob strap here.
She doesn't have it.
Super conspicuous. Unless it is just, consumed within her boobs.
But
which
that's,
is reasonable.
the other one was consumed within her boobs, but they always drew it on top.
Right. But also, this outfit, just doesn't have the, bondage harnessy, stuff going on under her boobs. I'm like, is there, what's the model sheet for this dress like?
I am not convinced that one exists.
Yeah, me neither. But still, this dress in this emote looks like just a completely different dress, which is fine. But, I don't know.
Yay, sludge.
Anyway, here she's got a cup of sludge, which looks
she's got
a little bit better. Yeah, better looking goop.
Better looking goop.
I'm convinced that she made this goop, and she's offering you this goop.
This is good goop.
Yeah, this is your sort of listen, when you have when you have a good time, and then you everyone gets sort of thirsty, and then someone's like, here, let me go get some tea or whatever. That's her. She's being very kind. She's
got artisanal goop that she carries it around.
Uh-huh. Would you like a post-coital cup of goop? I made it myself just for you.
Post? That's all that there is to that joke. It's just the concept of a pre-coital cup of goop. I just wanted to suggest it.
Uh-huh.
This is a good image. This is a Nadeshiko emote.
This is just
the Nadeshiko cheers emote.
Nadeshiko cheers. I do kind of... Wait, but they're cheersing in different directions. Hang on, I'm gonna grab this, and I'm gonna grab the Nadeshiko cheers, and I'm gonna put them next to each other, and it's gonna be perfect. Wait, there's that one, and then where's my girl? There she is, and then there's... No, it doesn't work. They're both cheersing to the right.
Fuck.
Fuck.
Ooh, fuck.
Fuck.
I was gonna say, you could write fanfiction about this.
Uh-huh. Just write fanfiction about Nadeshiko sleeping with every woman in the game.
That's all I'm saying.
There are worse ways to spend your time, one supposes.
They're both tagged as Delight.
They're both tagged as Delight. Oh, that's why you were... I thought you were thinking about it just because...
No, I independently was thinking about it and just realized they were both tagged as Delight.
Uh-huh. Delight.
You can have her cheersing with Wanjiro licking a salty lemon. They're facing different directions.
I'd rather not.
Okay.
Unless with her witch potions, Leia can transmute Wanjiro into a dog that looks better than that. Anyway, she's giving you a little cheers with a goop. That's all there is to say about this one.
That's literally all there is to say about this one. Moving
cheers,
on.
Goop.
Leia 1-1. Not cheers, goop. This is... okay. Maybe the only one of her emotes, and generally, maybe one of the only images of Leia that I genuinely have qualms with. Why so big forehead? Why so little cheek? Little cheek and sort of a pointy chin and thin neck thing.
You're right.
Very, very strange.
Slightly different face shape from all her other emotes.
And because she has such a consistent good emote face shape, it really stands out to me. Anyway, in this, it's also just like, in this one, she's, like, got her hands over her heart, like she's praying, and she's just, she's got pink hearts and a little pink circle. And it's like, sorry, this is her in an alternate universe where she's part of Lily Kitahara's sex cult.
I mean...
not the same woman.
That's...
good for them, not the same woman. I genuinely don't like the way this one is drawn. It really, disturbs me that she looks so different.
Yeah, that's fair. It took me a second, but now that I'm looking at it, yeah, that's fair.
I think it also is, like, not helped by the way that, like, her hair is positioned in this one. But, like, she's got a little bit of hair underneath one eye that, like, messes up the silhouette.
That's really...
And one of her eyebrows is going directly into one of her weird bang flyaways, as well as the other one, honestly. Both of them are running into it. And so it just, like, makes her look very odd.
Yeah. With the wedding veil also. She's just, like...
I know,
she
looks like she is praying. Christian Leia.
No! Say it ain't so.
Leia has become Catholic.
Leia has become a Catholic.
This Leia would never greet you in her office in the nude. That's my objection.
Yeah. Well, then now that you've said that, I don't want to look at her anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Leia 1-2.
Leia 1-2. This one is fucking sick. You can see her wedding ring very clearly, which is very funny. But she's just, like, reaching dramatically towards
me when
the
I
screen.
Get you.
Me reaching for my cup of goop.
Now, for what purpose? And at what time?
Mid.
I'm gonna assume that's purpose, not time.
No, that's time.
Joke denied.
Okay, acceptable. Oh my god. Podcast broken. I feel broken. I remember during the break when we were like, "Oh, we're being so like kind of normal and chill
we're really on
today.
it.
We're really on it." Now, broken.
I did kind of start melting, talking about and looking at, nude Leia.
Yeah, you did just keep saying she's hot over and over and over and over again.
And?
And then I made a joke about pre or post, and then now we've lost it. It's over.
We've lost it. It does look more like she's wearing armor in this.
It does. Her actual pauldrons. But this is like a sick emote. This like sort of fake perspective. It even like feels like there's almost like a bit of kind of like, it feels, but this is kind of not really true, but it feels like her hand is more in focus than the rest of her.
Yeah.
Which is really, like, without actually, like, blurring it, which is really nicely done. And she's just, like, reaching out, you know, this is flexible. What's she reaching out to grab? Finally, we can appease the, you know, part of our audience that likes us talking about how to use these emotes in-game. Fellas, we're back. She reaching out to grab you? Is she reaching out to grab goop? Is she reaching out to grab a tile? Like, you know, fellas?
Fellas?
I
like that this emote does look normal, via magic, despite the fact that she has no body underneath her shoulder. She's only arm and torso.
Uh-huh.
And then hand, and then nothing.
Well, the thing is that it's such, like, an exaggerated thing that, like, as soon as you look at it, you're kind of, like, in this cartoon space, right?
Yeah.
It does this really effectively.
Her hand shouldn't be there.
No,
like, it's out of alignment with the arm.
No, but, like, you know, you need her to be positioned this way so that you can see this particular part of her, like, relative to the hand, and then you need the hand to be here in the composition. And it's just, like, it doesn't logically follow, because that's not the point. It's just, like, a composed cartoon image. And it's a very effective composition.
Me when I get you.
Me when I get you. She does feel like she's about to... What is she about to grab? No, actually. She's about to grab you by the face. This is what it makes me feel like. And, like, fellas, I'll let you come to your own conclusions. Me when I get you.
Me when I get you.
Tags disgust.
Me when I get you.
Me when I get you.
And then that's all of the images.
And that's all of the images. Should we do numbers and then move on to our normal extra segment?
Yeah.
Unless you really want to just stop the podcast now, but...
I mean, I don't know what your extra segment is, so I'm in, you know... I wait with bated breath.
Okay. Should I tell you, and then you can make that decision?
Yes.
Okay, I just wanted to look at, like, a couple of outfits from characters we've done, but that we haven't covered, because they came out after we covered those characters. There's 2 of them, and I want to look at both of... we don't have to do this for every image, but I figured, like, a little short 2, like, just Bond and default and Bond character was, like, a good time to do that. But if you just want to have a shorter episode, we can do that another time, or never.
I think a shorter episode is good.
Oh, okay. Well... So much for my extra segment.
Get owned.
Yeah, I guess so. Numbers. Cute. I have... well, the thing is that I came into this episode weirdly having strong opinions about one of these numbers, but now my opinion has changed. Maybe. Possibly. We can talk about it.
Her cute has definitely gone up since we started recording this episode. Because I think... Yes. Because I think looking at her just, like, on instinct, gut feeling, if you asked me, you know, and we hadn't recorded a Soulmates episode about her, you know, what is her cute? I would be like, not very, you know, she's far more appealing than she is cute. She's like, you know, she's not cute. She's a mature adult woman and a teacher, and, like, you know, she's a consummate professional. However, her emotes are very cute.
Yeah, that's fair. I still just, like... this isn't... Okay, I was about to... No. I was about to say, like, but, like... There can be 35-year-olds who are 6 cute, but being a 35-year-old consummate professional, who, like, shows up naked to her office is just like a dock on your cute score, in the same way that just, like, being a teenager or, like, a kid is, like, an automatic up.
Yeah. She's, like, as a person, you know, in her interaction with you, she's got a pretty low base Q.
Uh-huh.
But also, oh no. Oh no.
Uh-huh.
She's gonna cry, oh no.
I don't listen, I don't think her cute is 0. But like I would push back. Listen, Ash, numbers aren't a measure of quality.
Sure.
I would push back on her cute being higher than 3. I might
That's
even
what I
push
thought you would
back
say.
on her cute being higher than 2. She is
she's 1 or a 2 for me.
Incidentally cute. Is she just incidentally cute, or is she more than incidentally cute?
I think she's incidentally cute. I don't want to. I don't want to diminish the level to which being a worm and being about to cry are very cute.
Right.
They're very cute. But they are like, incidental to her whole thing.
Yeah, they're like occasional, you know?
Mm-hmm. As a treat.
As a treat. You get to see her be a little cute sometimes.
Leia can be a little cutie.
She
as
likes
a treat.
Looking at puppies and kittens, but she also doesn't bring them home because she's concerned about their health. Like, This is one cute behavior, IMO.
One cute. Appealing.
Appealing. Very high, IMO.
High.
I
don't think it's a 6.
Alright. If you don't think it's a 6, that is okay. I could go for a 6, but I am willing to meet you.
At a 5.
Just sort of generally.
High.
I'm willing to have us meet. The thing is that, like, I'm looking at our other cute and appealings. And our other 6 appealings. Maybe I shouldn't do this. But I was like, our other 6 appealing, but it's such like a big thing to like be a 6 in either cute or appealing. Our other 6 appealings, FYI, are Lily Kitahara and Fuji, who are both sort of literal goddesses, which I think is fun.
Lily Kitahara's 6 appealing is truly because being appealing is her entire thing. And Fuji's 6 appealing is kind of because we lost our minds. But like, it's also because, you know, she's a 6 appealing. She just is.
If you bring, just to talk about, if you bring Fuji to a party, she will be the star of the party. She will be extremely weird, but everyone will love her all night. And also she'll get extremely drunk. But like in a fun way. Leia, I'm willing to go 5 on Leia. She's appealing. She appeals, fellas. Come on.
Fellas, she appeals. She's less of a, like, she would be fun at a party appealing, and more of a, you know, she invites you into her office and she's naked appealing.
Like, not even for the invites you into her office and she's naked angle. I just feel like if Leia was a person in my life, I would want to spend time with her, like, all the time.
It helps that she has an incredible coat.
Like, she dresses incredibly snappily. You know, she's hot. We could have a platonic relationship, but she's hot.
Fun. She's like
she
nice
seems
to
like she would have
to.
Interesting things to talk to about. Like, you know, I don't like. She wouldn't be fun at a. You know, she wouldn't. Well, she would probably do fine at a party, but like she would do great at like a really nice luncheon. You know. It's,
you read through all her voice lines, which I encourage everyone to do, because she doesn't have very many. You know, you read through her voice lines, you're like, she just seems nice to be around. I like her voice line that says, "Well done. You're so likable and always make decisions that make me happy." Like, so true. Leia gets such a high, you know, level of, you know, quality from us, because she just sort of obviously wants to be there the entire time, and there's no hint of her not wanting to be near you.
She's so comfortable. She's just like a 35-year-old woman who like knows what she wants, and
she's
it's like
down.
If you're gonna construct a situation in which what she wants is to be around me, I am not going to complain ever. If she was in my life, I would want to talk to her constantly. However, she's also, like, kind of condescending to literally everyone. And so 5 appealing.
5.
I'm comfortable with this. 1 cute, 5 appealing. Kinsey scaled numbers. See,
Kinsey scale number. You always have a Kinsey opinion.
do I?
Yeah.
Well, Ash,
I feel like often you come into these and say, well, I started having an opinion on one of these. And I wonder if you can guess what it is. And it's always Kinsey.
That can't... So, just reading through her voice lines a little while ago, and, like, not looking at her art, and also, like, not just sort of going on the journey that we've just been on, I was like, she just, like, kind of talks about her job, and she just, like, you know, she just, like, likes being around you, and she just, like, you know, she just, like, does not seem especially romantically inclined, like, as a character, in a sense. Except this Bond-Up line kind of changed that. And so I went into this being like, maybe you'll put on the table that maybe she's, like, an ex Kinsey. And I don't know, I'm in a weird position where I'm like, I'm not sure how much I stand by that anymore, but also I feel uncomfortable moving away from it in a weird way.
I don't think you're wrong. All of her voice lines, again, very pleasant to be around. But most of her voice lines are like, you know, I really like a couple of her like first voice lines in this list, which, I mean, I don't know what problems this website will be having later, so maybe those won't be the first voice lines in our listeners list. But, you know, please give me a moment to finish this tea or else I won't have enough energy. You know, sorry, I'm thinking about something, so please wait for me quietly until I'm finished. You know, extremely... She's literally just sitting here. Hello? Hi? I got scared that you'd lost me again.
No, I'm still here. I'm just listening very intently.
She refers to you as a child a lot, which I think is, you know, certainly, like, you know, part and parcel of the thing which Mahjong Soul is doing with Leia. You know, which is that she's a teacher and an older woman. But, you know, I understand what you mean. That she really just kind of, like, you know, talks about what's going on with her. The only lines that she has that are, like, more, you know, indicative are, like, you know, I think I understand why Kavi and Yuzu think you're special. Can you tell me more about yourself? The more, the better. Which, I mean, hey.
Sure, but that's part of her bond up, and her bond up ends with, like,
yes,
seedlings that should be able to grow vigorously can still wither silently due to lack of care or overindulgence. This is what I can't tolerate the most. Become my student. You're worthy of receiving and obeying this command. And, like, you know, it's complicated.
But, like, I think there's an angle there. I don't know. She's like a sugar mommy.
Yeah.
That's what her deal is. I don't know. I think, like, the thing is, I don't have an opinion on, I mean, she has a, like, vaguely lesbian energy, but I think that's just because she only interacts with women.
She does, yeah, she's a character who only interacts with women. And also she, like, notably, she's, like, again, there are characters in this game who talk about straight relationships, who, like, you know, they talk about, like, boys or whatever. This is, like, a thing. And so this is, like, you know, this is, like, notable when a character doesn't do that.
But I kind of just, like, think she's queer.
Yes, absolutely.
And don't know how to enumerate it.
you know, I, you know.
I just think she's part of the greater Seattle polycule. Which, like,
Uh-huh.
I don't know. I'm comfortable putting that at a 3, or honestly at an X, where she's just sort of, you know, she's a special individual with her own things going on. But
Yeah.
I don't think I can be swayed in either direction from a 3 or an X.
Uh-huh.
It's either, like, a thumbs up or a thumbs down.
Uh-huh. Well, here's the thing, is I was reading her voice lines, and I was sort of glancing over her art, and I'm like, she could just, like, be a 35-year-old asexual woman who also goes to bondage meets. This is a thing.
Yeah, this is a thing.
You know. And, like, you know, maybe that's just kind of her energy.
I'm not opposed.
Okay. If you need to convince me, if you want to convince me, you'll need to put in a bit more thought.
Me?
You know, just like generally.
If you want to convince me, you'll need to put in a bit more thought. Unfortunately, this won't do. Me staring at you. Nude. This won't do.
Uh-huh. But
Ma'am.
like,
I just, like, don't feel strongly enough about the 3. The 3 is just, like, you know, a placeholder for her being a fascinating queer woman.
Uh-huh. Well, we have to make a decision eventually. I don't know why I'm waiting for you.
I don't know why
As
you're
if you're
waiting
the-
for me either. I mean, I know it's my podcast, but Jesus.
I don't know. I'm also sort of stuck. I think she's just kind of fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
I just think she's sort of like a divine being beyond sex. By which I think she's just kind of like, you know, she's kind of 35 and she's sort of been around, and I feel like she kind of like sort of transcends having a particular sexuality in, you know, that particular way.
Mm-hmm.
I know this sounds like a cop-out, but it's just
No,
like,
but you're right.
it's really hard to, I can't confidently stick to my ex, even though I
Kinsey
like
scale, I mean, a Kinsey scale X in the same way that you have an X gender marker.
it. Yeah.
Kinsey scale X is a placeholder for not on the Kinsey scale.
Yeah, she's just like, I just think she's just sort of better than that, you know?
Mm-hmm. I just think she's a divine being above sex.
Uh-huh. But like, I just feel like it's sort of conditional, but like, not in the way of being a 3 per se.
Mm-hmm.
She's just, anyway. Good for her.
Good for her. What a fascinating character.
Uh-huh. I kind of did not expect us to like her this much.
I mean, what do you want from me?
Ash, you're not allowed to be attracted to women. That's my job on the podcast.
Listen.
You're here to convince me that looking at pictures of men is okay.
I am here to do that. It's true. I've been having a lot of conversations in my life lately about my ex-boyfriends. And so it's strange to come on this podcast and talk about how attracted I am to this woman.
Uh-huh.
Because I've been talking so much about my taste in men.
Uh-huh.
Imagine being bisexual. Couldn't be Leia. She's a divine being above sex.
She's just sort of better than that.
Well?
If you want to know our Kinsey scale number, why don't you go and find out?
Why don't you go and find out? I mean, God.
I mean, Fellas, stay with me.
Fellas, stay with me.
Okay. Well, I guess if we're not doing any extra stuff, that's the end of the podcast. You know what? You're right. It was nicer to do a shorter one. And just sort of like really, stay with her for a long time. I've enjoyed my time in her boudoir.
Stay with her.
Fellas, truly, fellas, if you get her, stay with her. She's worth it.
Do not fumble the bag.
Do not. Fellas. Should we just roll the new character?
Yeah.
Alright. So I'm just having a really good time sitting in this Discord call with you and saying fellas over and over again. It's just like really deeply satisfying. Fellas. Let's hit this random button. Fellas.
Okay, I'm ready.
Huh.
Peaks my mic? The worst I've ever peaked it.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Truly, the worst I've ever done it. My god.
Oh my god, fuck. Just like, are you with me, Ash? But. Like,
I'm with you.
Yeah. Man. Well, now we need to end the podcast so we can talk about this.
Whatever that implies to you, you can send it on the Tumblr Asks feature.
Fellas, I hope you enjoyed your Halloween, which was 3 days ago, but was today for us. And I hope you enjoyed our Extra Life stream, which was yesterday.
Fellas, goodbye.
Goodbye, fellas.
Bye, fellas.
正しい指導がなければ、せっかくの努力もとろうにキスは。